Hey friends, it's Mari. I'm back today with another video for holiday prep, and I'm working on my December album today. I'm diving into my stash and I'm going to be using this really cool Gina K stencil called Lovely Lace. And I'm going to use this over top of some Vicki Boutin Foundations paper, which is a really heavy white cardstock. And I'm going to run some of the Gina K Glitz glitter gel in this gold through the stencil, and I want to create a little panel for my December album just to add a little bit of sparkle and shine in there. And this Glitz glitter gel is absolutely amazing. It's just so shiny and pretty, and it's exactly what I wanted for the page that I'm going to work on for my album today. So I'm going to just scrub through some of this with my palette knife, and this actually dries fairly quickly, but I did use my heat tool to speed up the drying time because I wanted to continue working on this page. So you'll see me remove the stencil here pretty quick, and I do not dry it with my heat tool on camera, but it literally took me about 3 minutes to get this dry with my little Ranger heat tool. So I'm going to gingerly take off that purple tape so that it doesn't do anything to my paper. And there you can see I've got this dry, and it's just really a really pretty effect. I'm going to just trim loosely around that with my scissors, and then I'm going to take my Ranger, my Tim Holtz little trimmer, and trim off the excess, leaving a little border because I want to hole punch this and put it into my album. I'm going to use my ATG gun to put quite a bit of adhesive on the back there, and I'm going to adhere this to another piece of the Vicki Boutin Foundations paper so that it's really solid, it's not warped or anything like that, and it just really flattens it out nicely. And now it's ready to be trimmed up and hole punched and placed into my album. I'm going to use my cutter, I think this is called Cutter B Crop. I will link up this cutter down below, or I'll list it in my tools that I've used today so you can see what trimmer that is. I'm going to just take my guide that I have made for my holes for my album, and I'm going to just trace where my holes need to go. I don't have a 6-hole punch that matches up with the rings of my Ali Edwards binder. So what I do is I just trace the little circles onto my paper, and then I just hole punch them with a little handheld punch. And now you can see how that page is going to fit really nicely into my book. I love how this is just a really glittery, shiny page. And now I'm just going to take a bunch of stuff from my stash and I'm going to embellish this little page. I really love this little whimsical snowman. I think he's so cute. And this page is going to be kind of like a little divider to introduce the shopping. So this part of my December album is going to be talking about all the little shopping trips that we took. That is one of my very most favorite times of the Christmas season, is going and looking in the stores. Not necessarily buying a lot of stuff, but just going and shopping. Lots of times it's window shopping, looking at the Christmas ornaments, checking out all the different little shops and all of the fun Christmas things they have out. I wanted to spell out shopping with some small alphas, and so I dove into my October afternoon alpha stash, and I'm going to use some of these really small tiles to spell out the word shopping in black. I like how the two little fonts go together from this Mary die cut. This is a Simple Stories die cut, I believe. And then I'm going to put shopping in the little black tiles from October afternoon. I'm going to spell those out just below the Mary. I'm going to put them kind of in a wonky fashion. They don't line up nice and straight or anything like that. That way it totally takes the pressure off getting anything straight. I really like doing this with my alphas for that reason. I'm not necessarily the most talented person when it comes to making sure everything is straight and aligned. This is one way that you can get away with not having to worry about that really. Now I want to move my snowman over a little bit closer to my black alphas, and that little guy's not stuck down yet. I did stick a little present in behind, a little die cut present to match up with a little present theme that we've got going on here and shopping and that whole idea. I'm going to stick a couple of snowflakes on there as well that match up with the word Mary. I'm going to pop those up with a little bit of foam adhesive just to bring them up off of this little tiny layout, and I like how that looks. It's just a nice little embellishment. Now I'm going to pop that into my binder, but I'm also going to complete the back side of that page too. And I am going to show you doing that, how I do that. I am going to put a page protector that I want to use on the page right behind this little divider, and it's going to be a 2 up, 1 down, so 2 4x3s and 1 4x6 in the bottom pocket. The 2 4x3s in the top are going to be little cut apart cards, and then underneath will be a photo of us shopping. So now I'm going to use just a few die cuts to embellish the back side of that little divider piece that I created. I'm going to use this card that says Dear Santa there, and my plan is to write on there some of the things that people have asked for Christmas this year. So my adult children, what I do is I send them a text message sometime in November and I say, hey, please send me your Christmas list. And they're really good about that. And what I do is I make a note in my phone, in my iPhone, in the notes section. I just make a note with creating a list with each of their names, and I just write down everything. I add that to that list and document in that way what they've asked for. And then when I go shopping, I've got that list in my phone so that I don't have to rely on my memory, which turns out is not stellar. So I really like having a note somewhere reminding me, and I'm going to document that here in this little Dear Santa area. And I'm also going to leave a little spot over on the right side where the page protector is for any extra journaling that I might want to do. So I could add a little bit of journaling to the front of this card I'm working on here where that little Christmas ornament is. What I could do in Microsoft Word is create some journaling in the shape of a circle and put it over top of that ornament. That's one idea. And then, or I could replace any one of those 4x3 cards with a journaling spot as well. So I'm going to add a little bit of washi tape to the bottom of where that journaling card is here, just to kind of add a little bit of a ground area for that piece. And this is just some washi tape that I had in my stash kit that I created. If you took a look at my stash kit video creation, it does include a lot, or does show a lot of the different things that I am using, items that I'm using in my process this year for my December album. So I really like how this little insert turned out. I think it's really sparkly and shiny on the one side and quite a bit more subtle on the other, just to add a little bit of variation. I did want to take one of these little sticky buttons that says ho 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 on it and put it in the middle of that little candy die cut. I think that just finishes it off nicely. I really want to, even after I'm done creating these foundation pages, go back in after and try to add even more embellishments, little, shiny bits and pieces here and there, or whatever I can find that might add a little bit of detail to my album and use up some of my stash. Because if you followed my stash kit creation videos, my goal this year is just to try to use my stash. I literally bought one thing this year, and that was a 6x8 paper pad from the Snowflake collection. That was it. And I just recently added that in. So really trying to use my stash, just showing you here, I'm adding a photo to the bottom. That's my plan. There could be some other things that could be added to the journaling cards, or rather the 4x3 cards, and maybe a few embellishments here and there. But my goal for these foundation prep pages and this work that I'm doing in November and early December is just to get the basic pages and parts finished in the album, so that when I've got my photos, I can just go back in, pop them in, and then do the journaling, and my album should come together nicely by the end of December, early January. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. If you like my video, please hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, I'd love to have you as a new subby. Thanks again, and have an amazing day. Bye-bye.